Hello, everyone. Welcome to AGRN 2400, Introduction to Soils. I'm Michael Natris. I'll be the instructor this semester, and the course is going to go exactly what it says. It's Introduction to Soils. So, what you'll learn in this semester is kind of the foundational concepts related to soil science. And there's a lot that goes into it. So, the course is broken up into 4 different modules that will kind of walk you through the major concepts that are important. Hopefully I can connect some of the dots along the way and say, remember when we talked about this in module 1 and now it applies, here's where it applies in module 4, rather than just giving you some information where you're just kind of information regurgitation. Although you will have a fair amount of memorization and, having to put a few concepts together. So I know I've had some of you from either plant science or connections or maybe even both. And the ones that I don't know, I'll get to know you throughout the course of the semester. If you're not an ag major, that's okay. I'm going to find that out too, and I'm going to try and make sure that I relate it to what your major is, because there's nothing worse than taking a course and not understanding where or how it applies. And so, something that I try to do is make sure that if a student is maybe an environmental sciences major, I can at least bring those concepts together and say, as you get down the road, or if you're ever in a wetland, here's where this is going to apply. The course is pretty straightforward. There's no tricks, no curves. It's outlined pretty well. It is structured well. You're not going to have quizzes on Sunday nights. Your assignments are going to be due on Wednesday nights, and your exam is going to be in class on Friday. And so when we talk about this on this Friday, when you see the syllabus, this is now, I think the most important thing is that everything's due by 9 o'clock and not a second later. So, be aware of that. That's something I definitely want to make sure that students understand. But other than that, I'm going to see most of you in lab, which is going to be a fun experience as well. And that's where we really get to kind of dive into the specifics and we get to actually see the lecture in action. So the lab's always a good part. I really get to develop that personal relationship with each one of you, and then I can really start to go, hey, this is where this is going to apply literally for you personally and professionally, this little thing right here, because it's something that you are interested in. Let me see, what else? I feel like it's important for everyone to recognize that, soils is the foundation of everything that we do, because if we didn't have soils, then we wouldn't have plants. And if we didn't have plants, then we wouldn't have food. And if we didn't have food, then we wouldn't exist. And if we didn't have soils, then we wouldn't be able to grow trees. And if we didn't grow trees, then we wouldn't be able to grow, to build houses, because where would we get the lumber from? And so soils is a really important component of everybody's lives, whether they recognize it or not. And so that's kind of my goal, is to kind of bring some of those concepts to light and kind of make you go, oh, you know what? I never really considered it that way. So I'm super excited for the semester. I'm ready to get started. We didn't have nearly long enough break, but that's just how it always is. The spring semester always flies by very fast. So spring break's going to be here before you know it. And, April is a blink. So we probably have about, 2.5 really strong months worth of content. And we're going to grind through that. Like, I like to grind in the beginning when you're fresh and ready. And by the time we get to, the middle of April, we're on the downhill, right? We're in coast mode. We're just trying to get to the end because we worked so hard in the beginning of the semester. And that seems to work out very well because we're all ready to do it right now. There's nothing worse than sitting in class for, 2 weeks and not doing anything, or a month, and then all of a sudden everything's due in the last 4 weeks. So I try and space that out a little bit better. It just goes easier for students and it allows you to stay in a rhythm. At least in the School of Agriculture, you'll at least be in the rhythm. Now, if you have a chemistry class, I can't really speak for them, but I do know that this is an enjoyable class, and most students have good things to say about it afterwards, right? Maybe not during. It's a little tough during, but afterwards. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all on Friday. You don't have to print anything. You don't need to know. You don't need the book. We'll probably just kind of go over a little bit of, we're obviously going to go over the syllabus, but then just kind of kick around some concepts. Like, what do you think about this? Have you considered some of that kind of, maybe just some thought-provoking things that might be on the horizon for us in the future, because we're facing a big challenge, and I think Soils is going to be at the forefront of helping us overcome those challenges. So anyhow, that's enough of me babbling. I'm going to turn it back over to y'all. I'll see y'all on Friday. And yeah, on Friday. Have a good first day.